I'm a member of NAPE, a very proud member of NAPE. Some of you are here for the first time in Lagos. I remember the very first time I came to Lagos, I took a night bus because I got award in aid during my final year. Someone came in at 1 a.m. today, and I had to talk to him to get into a place to sleep. The same thing happened to me. And from that day, I never stopped being a member of NAPE. And today, by His grace, I am the assistant editor-in-chief. President-elect is here, John Bosco. He is one person I admire a lot from a distance. He doesn't know, but he's knowing it today. Thank you, sir. Without too much ado, I will call him to say a word to us before we continue because he is usually very busy. We're not going to keep him here for more than a minute. So please, your hands to President-elect John Bosco.
Thank you very much, Don Ibrahim, for that intro. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I know I was here yesterday for the very first YP program. And I'm quite excited to kick off my morning session again this morning with a lot of energy with the young professionals. And, looking at the room, it makes me feel quite good because it shows that the future of NAPE is going to continue to get stronger and stronger. So I want to, on behalf of the Executive Committee of NAPE, the Advisory Council, and the Board of Trustees, welcome you formally to the NAPE YP EnergyTech Pitchathon. A novel one indeed. This is the first time we're doing it in NAPE conference. There's lots of firsts we've been doing. We have 2 sessions, one today, one tomorrow. That is for the first time we're doing it. We had the hackathon over the weekend. And then the EnergyTech Pitchathon is also another new innovation we're having this year. And for that reason, I want to give a very big credit to your YP lead and entire ESCO. Please, a round of applause for the YP lead and the entire ESCO for what they're doing. Now, I also want to say a very big thank you to Bell Oil and Gas. When we came knocking on your door, you didn't blink to say, yes, what is there for us to sponsor? And you stood up, and you didn't just stand up to just be an ordinary sponsor. You just went straight to become a platinum sponsor of NAPE Conference. So thank you very much, Bell Oil and Gas. I also want to say a very big thank you to Matrix as well. So Matrix is also the second company that is sponsoring the YP program for this year. Well, in addition to the first hydrocarbon Nigeria. So a round of applause for Matrix as well. And I want to say thank you also to the judges and all those that are going to be participating at this challenge. Now, our ideas find oil and gas. That's what we're known for in NAPE, right? We are the knowledge base of this industry. And therefore, we do believe that the idea that is going to come out today will provide more solutions that we need in the energy world of this. We know the challenges we are facing. Technology has to enable or help us to deliver the ambitious goal of having the sufficient energy for the world. And the energy is also something that we need to survive. And therefore, I do believe that the brain power in this challenge is going to help us to solve that problem. So once again, I want to welcome you, and please make sure you maximize the time that you have for this conference because we have planned it for you, right? It's already going so well since Sunday, the cocktail yesterday. It's going to continue until Thursday. You are here already. Make sure you network, make sure you participate actively so that when you're leaving after Thursday, you will be a better person than you were when you came here. So on that note, I will say once again, you're highly welcome. And back to Ibrahim.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's the president-elect. Wouldn't you like to become like him someday? Come on, let me hear a yes. Oh. We are students, right? So let's behave like students. Let's put some life into the room without making noise, all right? Let's have some energy. Let me hear that spirit of Aluta in the room, okay? Good. So he'll be taking a leave any moment from now. You know about this program, and that's why you're here. I made 3 lists. I'm going to learn, I'm going to connect, then I'm going to dig deeper. And that's what I'm doing. I hope you came here with that goal. He has already said so much about Pickerton, so I'm not going to repeat him. Make every moment count. Take a jotter. I always move with one, and take notes. There is a notepad on your phone. Take notes. Listen to everything the judges will say, either passively or deliberately. As a way of overview, each of those judges will be asking 10 questions each. And you raise up your hand to answer. It comes with an incentive. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I love competition because without competition, you cannot measure. All right? And even when you be part of a competition and you fail, failure is part of success. I'll be calling on Flora, the team lead for YP, to introduce Bell Oil and Gas, which are our key sponsor for this event. Thank you, Oil, Bell and Gas. I will meet you behind the scene. All right? Flora, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. And good morning. Wow, we have a very full hall. Yesterday was something else. We had a very full hall, but not as full as this. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Flora Nusobi, and the NAPE YP lead. And so this NAPE YP EnergyTech Pitchathon is the first of its kind in NAPE. So the reason why we decided to organize something like this was the fact that NAPE as a body is the biggest oil and gas association in Nigeria. And what better way to drive energy than organizing such events like this, whereby oil companies can come in and then fund research ideas and then grow businesses that end up becoming very big in the future. And so at NAPE YP, we decided to launch out this initiative, and hopefully that as time goes on, the oil and gas industry can key into such vision and then get to expand it better, whereby when you have other fintechs or other tech-enabled services, we at NAPE and oil and gas industry are at the forefront to help to drive the energy industry with more innovative ideas. So on behalf of myself and my committee, I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning for this event, and also thank our headline sponsor, Bell Oil and Gas. When we wrote the letter to them, we were very surprised they picked the headline sponsor. I was actually shocked because we wrote that very, very late. But they came out for us, and we really appreciate them. So to this note, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker and this the headline sponsor of this event, Dr. Kayode Thomas, the CEO of Bell Oil and Gas, to give us his keynote speech. So I'd like to read his profile. Dr. Kayode Thomas has a solid background in corporate strategy, business development, project management, business analysis, and supply chain management, gained from key positions with various blue chip organizations. He has many years international and domestic experience in driving businesses to achieve their strategic and corporate goals. That means you that are here to pitch your idea, you are in great hands. So if you pitch very well, he's there to sponsor you and to fund your businesses. So on behalf of YP, we want to say thank you and give your speech. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Let's try that again. Good morning, everybody. Better. When I was told I was coming here, it said young professionals. So I expect that energy. When I was approached, and pardon me, I'll make a few changes. It's supposed to be a keynote speech, but I'm not giving a speech. I'm giving a presentation. I like to change things a little bit. So I want to start with purpose. When I was coming here, I had to ask myself, which is one of the reasons that I changed my topic. What am I coming here to do this morning? What is my purpose this morning? And I tell you, my purpose is to meet as many of the young people as possible, the future of the industry, the future of the nation. My purpose is to share the little knowledge I have, hopefully inspire. And my purpose is to call to action. In other words, if you leave this room the same, I have not achieved my purpose. You have to leave this room fired up. You have to leave this room wanting to be better. And I've attended a lot of conferences in my time. I love the technical sessions. What I missed were the softer ones. The things that you can learn that are applicable to virtually anything you choose to do going forward. So what is our purpose? Why are you here? Before I move forward on that, can I get 4 or 5 people to tell me why they're here? Anybody? Yeah. Say that again? To come and brighten. Okay. To boost your knowledge. I thought you said to put smile on our faces, which is a good one. To boost your knowledge. Fantastic. To network. Beautiful. Anybody else? To connect to professionals. Anybody else? One more. Make professional life better. And one more. To drive your vision. Absolutely wonderful. To drive your vision is as if you had a sneak preview into my slides. So, why are you here? Is it something to do? Is it to while away time? Is it that you are very bored, you don't have anything better to do today? To get a job? To learn and be transformed in knowledge? To get information that may prepare you for the future? Or you don't know? Now, sometimes it's okay not to know. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that I always knew what I wanted to. I had a good idea of what I wanted to do, but I've changed as life went on. And that's okay. It's not a crime not to know. But at some point, you have to know. And so maybe today would be a day that would help somebody get some clarity in terms of what they want to know or what they want to do. Now, you may... Is this working? Right. So you may wonder what purpose really is. Somebody said to brighten their vision earlier on, and I connect with that. But before we talk about vision, let's talk about purpose. And I said, why are you here? The dictionary defines it as the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. Purpose. Now, a gentleman the beauty of putting quotes these days is that everybody has Google in their palms. So before, when we have to tell you who somebody, I'll still tell you, this was a French West Indian gentleman who was a psychiatrist and a philosopher, who actually came from one of those French colonies called Martinique. And his quote was very apt. He said, each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission. Okay. And after you discover it, you either fulfill it or betray it. And because we're talking to young professionals, we have a choice. As you then discover the mission, what choice are you going to make? Are you going to be part of those who fulfill the mission or betray it? There's a choice that you have to make. But it is part of defining your purpose, because your purpose stands right in the middle of that. Now, you may have heard that there are 3 kinds of people. Can somebody tell me what the first image on the left denotes or depicts? Anybody? Pardon? Growth. Good. The one in the middle? Vision. The one on the right-hand side? Unknown. Okay. Confusion. Okay. Right. So I tell you what, it really, actually that I would probably use this in a different context, but the middle one doesn't even mean vision. And I'll tell you what it means. This one is failing. Right. 3 kinds of people. The first kind of people, those who make things happen. Before anything can grow, you have to plant it. Therefore, the kind of people who make things happen are the ones who plant things. I'm going to say to you, do not be concerned about starting anything small. I am proud to say that when I came into the oil and gas industry 22 years and 10 months ago, the first person I spoke to, I was that unknowledgeable. I asked, "Sir, what's the difference between the upstream and the downstream?" He laughed. I'm not ashamed to ask questions I don't know, however stupid they may be. Now, I may appear to be a veteran. In fact, when we started our business, many of our staff had more experience in the industry than I did. That's why I say, don't be afraid to start small. It's okay. However embryonic it might be, just know that there's the first kind of people, those who make things happen. Second kind of people, those who watch things happen. They really don't do much. They can tell you how businesses are run, but they've never sold a thing in their lives. You have to be wary of them. The third kind of people are those who ask what happened. Right? In fact, some people don't know we have a new president. Oh, yeah, Tinubu's president. Oh, really? Yeah. What happened? Donald Trump is, oh, really? What happened? They don't know they just ask what happened after the fact. Now you have a choice. You have to decide. If I hazard a guess, I say, tell me what kind of person you want to be. What would the answer be? Those who make things happen. That's where success lies. You're not going to be successful by watching things or by asking what happened after the fact. You can only be successful, whether it's an entrepreneur or as a professional, if you, within the organization or within the space you operate, make things happen. But how does success happen? Does it happen by accident? No. I don't care how many night vigils people attend. I say that you have to first, there's a reason they say heaven help those who help themselves, right? Success isn't an accident. You're not going to fall into it like a pit. You're walking and then suddenly you fall into success. That's a myth. It's not going to fall on you like a fruit from a tree. It doesn't happen. It's a myth. You're not going to stumble over it. In fact, there's a saying that you don't stumble over anything by sitting still. You can only stumble over things by moving. You guys came in here this morning for a reason. You could have slept. You could have said, what NAPE? Listen, what these guys have organized, I'm particularly excited about it. One of the reasons I'm passionate about where I am, the rest of the conference is great, but I think this is very important. Why? Somebody said, you had said, wouldn't you like to, the future NAPE president is in this room. But nobody's going to become NAPE. I'm sure if you talk to the president-elect, he's going to tell you the path. He made things happen. He didn't just sit there waiting. Success is as a result of obeying and following certain principles. And I've put this to the test. And if you don't take anything away from here today, put it to the test. The principles we're going to share, put them to the test. I'm selfish enough not to recommend anything that doesn't work. But if I recommend it, it's not because I came with the knowledge from heaven. It's because everything we know on the planet, we learn. And so my quest to share the little I know is designed very deliberately. And I've read so many books. Another thing I'm going to recommend is that you read. Some people, I have friends who have not read a book since they left university. The idea of reading books is magazines. No. I tend to read a book a month. Sometimes 2. Sometimes I read 2 or 3 books. Somebody was I was reading a book, and sometimes I could read a book for 3 or 4 months. And a friend of mine said, "You're still reading this book?" I said, "It's not a competition. I can read it for a year. In fact, I can be bored with it and pick another one and go back to it." The point is, I'm always reading something. But what do successful people do? It looks like we have an open book exam. If somebody has done something and they have been successful at it, even if you are not going to replicate it, there are things you can pick from it that can make you successful. So, the first thing successful people do, the lady here, is have a vision. It sounds like a cliche, but you have to have a picture of what success looks like to you, not to anybody else. It's a very personal decision. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's not the next man's vision. It's your vision. And your vision has to be very personal to you. In business school, they teach BAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. It means that when you think about your goals and your vision, the hair at the back of your neck has to stand up. It has to be so big. If you tell the next man, they'll be like, joker. Then your vision is big. Successful people always have a vision. That's where it starts. And, they say perception is reality. How do you perceive yourself when you look in that mirror? Is it 4 you see there? Is it 3 you see there? It's a matter of perspective. There's no right or wrong answer. But it's only right to the extent that it relates to you. The second thing I want to share is that I have not met a single successful person who did not believe in themselves. Matter of fact, it doesn't matter if anybody else believes in you. It's good that, they don't believe in me. It's all right if they don't believe in you. The most important question is, do you believe in yourself? The saying here says, if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if it is broken by an inside force, life begins. Great things always happen or begin from the inside. Muhammad Ali said, one of my favorite persons, said, "I am the greatest." He said, "I said it even before I knew I was." He wanted to be the greatest in his field. He confessed it. But then guess what? He walked towards it. And he achieved it. I want you to go through this thing. If you're making your notes, just scribble them down. If you're not clear about anything, we'll talk about them in other sessions. Successful people are educated. They're skillful and they're knowledgeable. Education here doesn't mean you have to have a PhD. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying educating yourself in the things you want to do. You are here this morning to educate yourselves. That's a path to success. You knew everybody that gave me the purpose for which they were here. I'm sure if I went around the whole room, almost everybody has something solid to say. And that was very impressive because it gave me that, wow, I'm with the right crowd. I use some Bible passages, but forget whether it's from the Bible. What I want you to focus on is the content. A man skillful at his work will stand before kings, not obscure men. Because if you don't have the skill, nobody's going to call on you. You have to develop that skill. You have to educate yourself. You have to finish, those are in university, finish your degree. Do something else. Read, improve, learn, educate yourself. I don't know any successful person who has stayed the same since they left school. Otherwise, they can't be successful. But the greatest enemies to acquiring new skills, pride. I'm above all that, Complacency. I've been doing this for 50 years. What's there to learn? Laziness. And laziness, we have to tackle it, particularly as young people. Laziness doesn't mean you don't get up early. Laziness means that you are not excited enough to dig deep and go and learn. Number 4, I'm going to share 12. Have an understanding of time. I'm going to charge you to stop this African timing thing. We need to, and when you go abroad, one of the things they respect the most is time. But forget about everybody else. Do you respect your own time? And do you understand that time is very, very important? My friend Fela Droto, he said the opportunity of a lifetime must be taken within the lifetime of the opportunity. And in that sentence, it's packed. It's all about timing. If you get an opportunity to come to NAPE conference and you choose not to, you have not capitalized on it within that time frame. And if you attend and you go empty-handed, you still are almost as bad as the person who did not attend at all. You must, as a matter of course, get something out of this. Time flies. But guess what? You are the pilot. Successful people grow, number 5. Everything God created was predicated on growth. The only time something doesn't grow, or a seed doesn't grow, is if it is planted in the wrong soil. Or the right soil, you're not tendering it, watering it, weeding it. Then it dies prematurely. But if you plant yourself as a seed in a fertile ground, and you look after it, you build your skill, you share knowledge, get knowledge, guess what? The law of the universe is that it must grow. Every successful person grows. Number 6, they are persistent. And Thomas Edison, who is credited with inventing the light bulb, said he has not failed. He said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that wouldn't work. It means that he was persistent. He kept doing it. He kept doing it. He kept doing it until one day he succeeded. What is it that you're doing that you think, oh, I've done it a few times, I need to change course? No. You need to keep doing it if you believe in it. Not if I believe in it, because it's your vision. They are patient. They recognize that the time will come. They're not in a hurry to get it done at all costs. Get rich tomorrow. You're 22, 23, and you want to be as successful as the person who is 50, 60, who's been around for a long time. They give back, not just money, the time, the energy, the knowledge. They're bold. They're not afraid to take risks. This gentleman who was executed in 1945 said that silence in the face of evil is evil itself. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. The ambidextrous. It means literally using your left hand as well as your right hand. You're able to multitask. You're able to balance things. They are diligent. Sounds like a cliche again. But I put a simple equation there. P plus D equals A. The plan of the diligent will lead to abundance. If you plan very well and you are diligent at it, success is only a matter of time. Last point there says prepare. If I were in church, I'll say, turn to your neighbor and say prepare. And everyone say prepare. Say it louder. I say prepare. But you have to understand that preparation is what I want to spend the last 10 minutes on. And why is it important? I learned this a long time ago. I wasn't always the best preparer. I'm what you call a good average student. Went to university, did okay, got a 2-2. I don't want wala. That was the kind of student I was. Lots of parties, girls here and there, and then go to school. And, sometimes I, would not attend classes and I'll get those notes. And I'll still be blaming the guy whose handwriting I couldn't read, who attended class. Like, you didn't come to class, you're complaining about my handwriting. But what then happened was that I discovered the power of preparation. And so since then, my tool has been preparation. It's not my intellect. It's not my genius. No. And I came up with something that said, look, you can't achieve anything or sustain it without preparation. Let's be clear about that. And that's a tool that I want to impart on you guys. It takes 10,000 man hours to master anything. Look it up. And so I put a little illustration there. Somebody that spends 2 hours a day on something versus somebody who spends 6 hours a day. For the person spending 2 hours, it's going to take them 19 years. Assuming a 5-day week and a 52-week year. For somebody who puts in 6 hours, it's going to take them 5 years. And for somebody who puts in 10 hours, it's going to take them just over 3 years. to master the same thing. And if you look in the dictionary, because it's alphabetical, right, achievement, which is in A, comes before success, which is S, and before W. Only in the dictionary. In the real world, work comes before success, and it comes before achievement. And Arthur Ashe, who is dead, died a long time ago, was an American tennis player. He was the first and only black person to have won Wimbledon, US Open, Australia Open, and things like that. Said that, look, self-confidence is one very important thing to success. But guess what? He said that an important key to self-confidence is what? Preparation. Preparation. So, spectacular results are always preceded by unspectacular preparation. There's a little illustration I have on the screen, that I called, restraint, audacity, or stupidity. You've got this screen, you've got, police dogs in the police academy, final phase of passing out, and then they put them to the test. And it's like, okay, are they exercising restraint? Because some of them are looking at the cat like they want to pounce. And is the cat stupid or is he audacious? I say this is a result of preparation. They prepare them so well that if any dog jumps out of line, can't pass. And my boys, since they could speak, said, if you don't learn anything from me, forget about inheritance. This is your inheritance. Learn the 5 P's. So as soon as they could talk, they understand the meaning of the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And that is the key. I want you guys to go away today knowing what the 5 P's are, such that I'm so confident about my preparation. If I'm competing with somebody, the only thing I'm looking for is, can I out-prepare them? Not am I more brilliant than them? Because if I can out-prepare you, I would outperform you. If you understand that concept, preparation will drive everything you do in your career, in your businesses, in your view of life. But you might need to change a couple of things as I round up. Your behavior, which only you can change. Your capabilities, which goes back into improving your skills. Your beliefs and values. Religion and all that sometimes gets in our way. There's nothing wrong with religion. I believe in God. But we have to understand that God will always do his bit. But we have a role to play in your environment. And Nigeria is seen by many as a marketplace where entropy reigns sometimes, where the entropy is high. I'm a science student. I majored in physics. And I'm sure I'm in the room with science and engineering graduates. So what's entropy? Entropy measures the disorderliness and the uncertainty of a system, right? Or entropy itself is scientifically defined, measures the thermal energy per temperature, per unit of temperature in a system that is available for or unavailable for what they call useful work. Why am I saying that? Well, I've seen a lot of people with a lot of energy, but the amount of energy that is unavailable for useful work is what's plenty. So the entropy is high. In step, the second law of thermo. The entropy will remain unchanged or will go up over time unless you bring in an outside energy. And as a human being, that applies to you. Because if you remain the same, your entropy is going to go up, which means the amount of energy you have available for useful work is diminished. The amount of energy you have for all sorts of things become very high. And the first law of thermo doesn't apply. It says energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. No, because I've seen entrepreneurs destroyed. I've seen businesses rise and fall. But when it comes to you, Nigeria, I love the country. I've not earned anywhere outside Nigeria for the last over 2 decades. It is a rose bush. You have to be prepared to be scarred. It's tough. It's a VUCA environment. It's volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. Yes. But guess what? There is so much happening in the country. So much that you can do if you care to be one of the first types of people that actually make things happen. But how much do you want it? The lion and the gazelle. Each day, the lion wakes up. The gazelle wakes up knowing he must outrun the fastest lion. The lion wakes up knowing he must outrun the fastest gazelle. I'm not taking credit for it. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, ruler of Dubai and vice president of the UAE. But whether you see yourself as a lion or a gazelle, one thing is sure, you have to outrun. And so you have to have that mindset that we must outrun. And I close with this. You won't find this on Google. You know, this is something I just coined myself. Most people that are around me know that I say it's an all-rounder. Please, guys, to be successful in everything that we've done, this is a summary. You must have the vision of an eagle. They can see 3 kilometers out, a prey. You must have the speed and agility of a cheetah. It's the fastest animal in the world. 120 kilometers top speed. You must have the strength and determination of a bull. And you must have the patience of a vulture, knowing that your time is going to come. Do not be in a hurry. It's not going to come from what you do occasionally. It's going to come from what you do consistently, persistently. Because the road to success, if it were straight, let me assure you that everybody will be taking it. Parting words. Hey, guys, I did this a lot when I was young. Sometimes I broke my pencil in two so that I can have two. Everybody's done it before. Or one breaks, the other one's not very good. It's a process. An action without vision is a nightmare. Vision without action is a daydream. What you want is to have the vision and back it up with action. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no elevator to success. That's what I finish with. You need to start climbing the stairs. Thank you very much.
Amazing. One thing I learned growing up is to give honor to him, honor is deserved. What our keynote speaker have just done, he has shared with you a lifetime experience over his life that you probably would never read in a book within 30 minutes. And in that case, can we all stand up, leave that your seat, and clap? That's it. That's it. Clap well like you mean it, right? Let's take our seat, please. There is no amount of money that you will give to receive what you have received today. I have learned from mentors and great people by listening to them. I envy your staff. I envy your staff. Because you can't work with such an individual and be a lukewarm or and be a nominal person. Look at the way he took us back to chemistry class. Explaining entropy and enthalpy all over again. Some of your eyes were just like, whoa. Yes, it means that he didn't just go through the university. The university also went through him. The degree you come out with doesn't really matter. It's what you learn while you're in school. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you know where we connected with this man? On LinkedIn. My dream is coming to pass. When he saw me, he said, your face looks familiar. And before I could say a word, he said LinkedIn. After I told, can you say how you connect? LinkedIn. Now I have connected with another friend in YP. All right. Now let's do this. Dr. Bukola Olusola is the Managing Director of Matrix Energy Exploration and Production Company Limited, a subsidiary of Matrix Energy Group. Bukola's practical leadership experience covers about 2 decades. He previously worked in different technical and managerial capacities for various organizations, including New Cross Petroleum Limited, New Cross Exploration and Production Limited, Baker Hughes, Statoil, Canada, University of Calgary, DeGolyer, and McNaughton, Canada Limited. He has operated, evaluated, developed, and carried out field development strategies for oil and gas fields in Brazil, Canada, Colombia, Egypt, Oman, Nigeria, Pakistan, and the USA. Yeah, this is a good place to give a clap. He holds a bachelor's degree. He shares his technical knowledge in leading professional bodies locally and internationally. Now, this is one of those platforms, and that's why he's here. Thank God. But it's just that the cameras will have to turn that way. Okay, I can't see it from here. Okay. Is it coming up? Oh, yeah. Patience is a virtue. Bukola is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Petroleum Engineers and a registered professional engineer with Association of Petroleum Engineers and Geoscientists of Alberta, Canada. He is also a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers and Chartered Institute of Directors. That LinkedIn we need to revisit. I'll go and inbox you now, all right? Please give your hands to Dr. Bukola. Welcome, sir.
Well, good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, I'm not Dr. Bukola. I'm representing him, as Dr. Bukola. So I will take the clap I got just now on his behalf. Yeah. Good morning, everyone, once again. My MD, Dr. Bukola, called me about 2 weeks ago, if I could remember precisely, and he said I would be engaged for a presentation in YP, so I won't be able to come for that presentation. Ibrahim, would you be able to represent us for this? And I said, who better to do this than myself? Well, I work under Dr. Bukola as the head of subsurface for Matrix Exploration and Production Company. But first and foremost, I'm a geologist. So I have sat in this room a couple of years back. I graduated from University of Ibadan with a bachelor's degree in geology. I also have a master's degree from the University of Lagos as well in applied geophysics. So, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, that's great. Okay, I think it's better now. There was some net. It's better. So, yes, I'm going to be speaking on building a skill and seizing opportunities for career growth. This is very personal to me because I've done both of them. I've built a skill and I've also really grabbed and seized, and whatever word you would want to use, for opportunities, which has also helped my career growth. So, most of us that are here are from various universities. Some have graduated, some are doing their master's degree at the moment. Others have in the market looking for a job or something to do to progress their career. I want to tell you that I'm a living experience of everything you've been through. So, when you graduate from school, or when you're about to graduate, I was in my third year, I visited NAPE for the first time. And I came for a technical session. Back then, I was interning at DigiConnect Nigeria Limited. And when I visited MAPE, what caught my eye, I couldn't understand any word of what they were talking about. There were various maps on the wall, really technical. So I just got lost. But I was sitting next to somebody that was working for, I think it was ConocoPhillips back then. And he was talking and something caught my fancy. And he said, our allowance this year, is it going to be increased or is it the same 800,000? No, not the same 800,000 now. Back then, 800,000 were like about 7 million thereabout. And that was what caught my fancy, the money. I'm like, wow. I love geology. But I can also make money from this. There's this saying that, when you do what you love, you won't have to work any day in your life. So that is it for me. I've never worked any day of my life since I started geology. I've just been chilling. Because it's what I love doing. So let me just go back to the matter of the day. And that is, the first part of building a skill is to first identify yourself. Do some self-assessment. Try to know where you are, what you know at the moment. You are just graduating from school. I want to go into the oil and gas industry. I want to be an exploration geologist, engineering geologist, geophysicist, medical geologist, whatever form. But you need to sit down and assess yourself and say, where am I now? What do I have? Do I have technical skills that are up to date to do this? Do I have a soft or domain-specific skill that will make me, attractive to be employed in this field? So you do some form of self-assessment, self-awareness, self-knowledge of yourself. The other thing is to, go into interest mapping. Like I said, I'm a geologist, and I love what I do. So you have to first find out from yourself what interests you. What drives you. Because you can be struggling. Some of us got into geology by accident. Maybe we chose medicine. We couldn't get into medicine. Some are engineering. The cutoff of petroleum engineering is so high, but I can go into geology. And we find ourselves where we are. Most of us are struggling with our CGPA. It's always every student's nightmare. I want to maintain that first class, But the most critical thing is to, graduate from school, finish, and then, find out what interests you. Then as you are graduating, the next thing is to, start setting career goals for yourself. Usually, most of us we don't know. We just, okay, so I finished from school. I have one brother somewhere that studied mechanical engineering. He's working somewhere. I have friends that graduated from school. And, the next thing they did is Boziettes. They want to go into offshore jobs and whatnot. But personally, you need to first assess yourself, what interests you, and the next thing is setting career goals. Where do I want to be? And one thing I want to tell you, which is critical, is that as you are finishing school, there is no time that you should say, I want to spend 3 months to go and rest. Oh, I've worked so hard in school. I need to rest. That course is finished. I saw a student yesterday. I said, why are you looking this lean? Oh, I just finished exams. I need to rest after these exams, I can have to stay like 4 months without doing anything. It's not the best for you, because just that 4 months you want to rest maybe when the opportunity is knocking. When I graduated from school, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I don't want to stay at home. I have an uncle, he's a civil engineer. I'm a geologist. I can go and just learn 1 or 2 because no skill is no skill is a waste. You start growing these things gradually. Gradually, you start picking up. And then another thing is you might not find your first leg into the oil and gas industry as you graduate. But you need to start growing skills. You need to start attending courses, going to places trainings, webinars that will develop your skills. These are things that shaped people like us in this industry. These webinars, some voluntary guys in the industry comes to your school. I know I've done one of the in University of Ibadan where I had to, educate some of the students that are there online. So you need to attend most of these things. They will inspire you to forge ahead in this your chosen career. Another thing is usually market research, understanding the career landscape where you are working. Unfortunately, sometime back in late 2014, the oil industry witnessed a downturn, which is the fall in oil price, which transcended through the 2015 and 2016, and then we started bouncing back gradually in 2017. Those number of years, people were laid out of jobs. People were, discouraged. Most IOCs didn't employ anybody. It was only indigenous players that were struggling and still trying to keep people. And people that were even had to go, roles were collapsed into one. And So, but you need to grow your skills. When the industry bounced back in 2018, 2019, there was a large gap to fill. People were not able to, employ graduates that were just fresh out of school. Indigenous companies want to maximize, their assets. They want to be sure that you have the skill set to jump into action. So you need to sit down, understand the market trends. When you see things are low, like downtime in oil price and all those things, it's another opportunity for you to start growing your skills because eventually it's going to bounce back. Follow industry journals, subscribe to newsletters, and engage with, thought leaders on social media. Like you can see, I met Mr. Dung on LinkedIn. There was a job I was asked to do early in my career. I was to visit the head of a department at one of these big indigenous companies. And he saw me and he said, I know this face. I know you very well. We have interacted severally. Guys, I have submitted CVs countless number of times to this man on LinkedIn. So he could get me a job. And I was now asked to go to his office to work for him. I would be reporting to him. But because he had seen me somewhere, he said, I know this guy. So he called me personally to his office. Come, Ibrahim, I think we know each other somewhere. I said, yes. He's on LinkedIn. He said, yes, I know. So that's a very good platform for you to engage industry leaders. Very, very good, I must tell you. I know countless number of people I've met, supported, people that have also supported me, that I've met through that platform. Competitor benchmarking. So you have to look at your peers in the industry, maybe in your classes, as you graduate. What are they doing at the moment? How are they growing themselves? What skill sets is trending? Some time ago, it was seismic inversion that was trending. All my guys were doing it, seismic inversion, rock physics. So we all had to start growing, to increase us in this, our chosen career path. I can't overemphasize this network and mentorship, which I've talked about. It's one of the best ways to understand your career. It's one of the easiest ways to grow in your chosen career. You need to look at it. You need to find a way to meet. As you are here in this conference, it is a very good window for you to meet a lot of people that you continue to increase relationships with. You send chats, You send chats not to say, please help me for a job. You send chats to say, I've progressed. This is what I've learned. This is what I can do now. It gives them that push that this person is actually building his career and is someone that they can actually encourage. So don't just sit back and say, wow, I've met this man, is going to help me. No. Continue to work on yourself. Continue to grow whatever skill set you have. This goes to people that are already within a particular sector. Maybe you're already in the servicing companies, or you are very young. You are in the other sectors of the business, in the oil and gas, but you're already on the career. So job boards and career websites, platforms like LinkedIn, which I've already mentioned. Glassdoor is a UK company which you can go to check jobs for international jobs. So don't just search for specific roles. Look for skill sets that are of interest to you, that you have, requisite documentations or certifications for. It's going to help you quickly get a job. And then some people, it may be difficult. You may not get a job directly, quickly. You can freelance. You can work as a freelancer, to increase your career, to increase your visibility. If you're sitting down within the house and say, oh, it's not a full-time job, I can't do it. No, engage other projects. Create. For example, I didn't get into the oil industry almost immediately after school. I went straight into IT, where there was a job. And I was a Microsoft transmission engineer for Huawei for about 2 years, a geologist. And I was connecting cables and transmitting services all around the country. And I came out of it, and I was like, and then they wanted to do something on transmission in the office. I was educating the IT guy in the office, because I have a skill set, have learned over the time. Nothing is a waste. Certifications, which I've said, it may be expensive for some of us to go and do a master's degree abroad. Even in Nigerian schools, which are becoming like public schools are becoming as expensive as private schools now. You can go online and do some courses in Coursera, Udemy. They are next to free. 8,000, 7,000. You see courses you can do on those platforms with certificates that will help you. There are also free courses on LinkedIn as well, which can also help your career. Company bulletins. These are for internal opportunities within the company that you are working. So this may not speak to you directly, but for those of us that just got a job, many organizations circulate internal newsletters. Just be on the lookout. Then talk to your supervisor. One-on-one sessions with him, is going to help you to define your career growth within the system. Also, look at in-house skill gap that is missing. Develop yourself in those places, and then it makes you grow quickly within the organization. And I want to speak to that quickly. I remember when I just started up as a young oil and gas professional, it's a servicing company, and we had a contract with one of the big IOCs, and we were lost. We were kind of not able to further in one of those studies. And I'm just a young guy, and I'm looking at what they are doing on the system, and I can't do the same thing. What did I do? I carried my laptop, went into Google, researched on sequence stratigraphy, which was what we were doing at that time, and looked at what speaks to what problems we're having. And I landed a paper by 2011. What was this guy's name? His name went off my head right now. I can't remember. But I landed this paper, a 2011 journal that speaks to sequence stratigraphy around Niger Delta. He had worked all across the eastern, mid to western part of the Niger Delta. And it speaks to the problem we are having. And I did some few slides, called the owner of the company then, and I presented to him. I said, wow, this solves our problem. This guy is very good. So don't look at it like I'm young in the industry, I can't solve problems. No. Most of these things are hidden somewhere in the books you can read. So once you get the opportunity, you grab the chance to show yourself. Follow-up and negotiations. Always send a thank you note after an interview. And don't hesitate to follow up. Not in a rude way, not in a pushy way. Please, I would like to find out what I submitted or how did I do in the interview. Please, I'm available for any follow-up interview. Thank you for my last interview. I would like to reiterate that I'm interested in still working for your company. Soft messages that come up periodically. Continuous knowledge, continuous learning. You have to continue learning. Which I've said, finished from school, went to study applied geophysics, still didn't get a job, and I went into IT. And then transitioned back into the oil and gas. But still learning. Even as of today, I still read till 2:30 a.m. this morning. So you still have to keep learning. Even if as you grow in the career, you still have to keep learning. It doesn't end. I've done masters. I've done BSc. BSc, man. People have BSc in this country. It's like your SSC certificate now. So you have to keep building on whatever you have. So, as a conclusion, career growth is an active, ongoing process by performing regular self-assessments, staying updated with industry trends, actively identifying opportunities, and being prepared to seize them. You can navigate through the myriad paths to professional development. Always remember the best way to predict your future. You have to create it. Believe me, my friend was telling me back in school, he said, Ibrahim, do you think you'll be able to get through it? I said, yes. You'll be able to get into the oil and gas industry? I said, yes. Because he said, how do you know? I said, I chose geology from SS1. I didn't know geology when I was writing JAMB. I had known what I wanted to study from secondary school, my first year into the science class. So you have to look at yourself, assess yourself. Self-assessment is critical to growth. Because if you are not interested in what you are doing, there is no way you can grow in what you are doing. It will always be difficult. So I'm not going to leave with a wonderful statement. I'll just leave. Thank you, everyone.
Are we really learning in this class? I'm a teacher. I was expecting you to stand up and clap. It's good for you. It's an opportunity for you to also stretch your legs. All right? It's a show of respect. That's what successful people do. That's what successful people do. They encourage each other. All right? So it's not just a show. Trust me. It's not just a show. It's a sign of respect. It's a sign of encouragement. And it's also good exercise for you. And so on and so forth. Now, one thing that stood out for me while Ibrahim, my namesake, was because my name is Ibrahim. One thing stood out. Continuous learning. Continuous learning. If I tell you the things I went into after my first BSc, we will not finish today. You see this photography they're doing? That's why you see me with a camera. I did it professionally at least for 10 years. And that took me around the entire country. I've been to every state in this country, the entire 36 of them, doing one event or the other. At the peak, if my team didn't cover your wedding, it means that you didn't get the best. And then I step aside in 2009. Before I pick up geology again, I started. That's what I did. And when I started with geology, I said, okay, let me prove a point to myself. Went back to school. He said, everybody have BScs. There are BScs in this country, right? Yeah. Yes, there are lots of them. But I say I'm going to have 7 master's degrees. I got 3. I have 4 to go. Topic for another day. So, soft skills, take your time and develop them. They speak for me. What I'm doing now is a soft skill. How Flora identify me, I don't know. But it all started with Tubosun. I don't know. Do you know Tubosun? The former PRO? Huh? She's one person that pulled me out from my shell. She was here earlier. She was hiding. You need people to pull you out. She's the first person that made me do a voiceover. The first VTF we did, virtual tour. The voice at the background. Does it sound similar? If you have listened to it, yeah, that was my voice and a lady's voice too as well. And this year, VTF2, we did the same thing. She also raised the bar. So I think they didn't do it last year, but in this year's conference, they did it. So find people like that and connect with them. She's very good with young professionals as well. All right. The last sponsor for this event is Wema Bank. I'm hearing that for the first time. Trust me. So I'm going to be all ears. Can we please welcome the representative? He's going to tell us his name and also talk to us. He's the last person that will be thinking. So while he is here, okay, good. Your profile is up. You're going to stand here. We'll do the routine. And I'm going to read. He looks young like me. Yeah. Can you see that? All right. Solomon is the head. I don't want on that picture. Okay, he's also representing, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Solomon is the head. Innovation, corporate transformation, innovation, and analyst at Wema Bank. And a lot by Wema. Nigeria's first fully digital bank. Interesting. Solomon is a result-driven manager, well-versed in leading things and driving business transformation, leveraging expertise in building customer-centric technology products. Solomon graduated with a BSc in political science and public administration from Adekunle Ajasin University. Akumba, am I correct? Akumba Akoko. Akumba. Okay. We'll do that later. And, okay, Akumba Akoko, please forgive me. And an MBA with a focus on strategy from Herod University, Edinburgh Business School. Solomon was an analyst, innovation, digital enablement, and analyst at Stanbic IBTC, where he drove digital strategy execution by managing products, developing from conceptualization to delivery to customers, leading designs, thinking training, and workshops, driving partnerships, engagements with technology, ecosystem, and facilitating digital immersion sessions to boost the digital knowledge and quotient within the organization. Prior to working at Stanbic IBTC, Solomon worked as the business transformation lead with EnergyTech outfit and managed the project management and change management arm of the business. Solomon joined Stanbic IBTC in 2015 and worked in diverse roles across personal and business banking, IT project management, data analyst, and executive management. He is a multiple TEDx speaker, TEDx licensee, interesting, recipient of the prestigious CBN Next Generation Banker for Trailblazers Under 30, Burge IT Archive Citizen Award of Community Service. This is giving back. DG Bank Digital Leadership Award in Nairobi, Future Awards for Activism and Advocacy, and he was recently listed as the top 50 young Africans to look out for. He is an author, of 3 books, and his enriching objective in his life is transforming the future of Africa with his voice and enabling power of technology. There's something about stepping into a shoe. You will tell us your name and the shoe you're feeling. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for the wonderful. Thank you for the reading of the profile. I only saw 2 people clap here, 2 people at the back. I'd like to appreciate the 2 people who just give me a round of applause. Basically, I'll be talking about scaling digital innovation and how venture capital can help in developing emerging energy startups in Africa. Firstly, I don't have a background in energy or geology or engineering. I read accounting from the University of Abuja. My name is Abdiekin Aziz, by the way. So I had prepared my slides, right? But while sitting down, I asked myself, who are the people I'm speaking to? I feel like there's the next Elon Musk in this space who is going to be building SpaceX. So, which is why I decided to come up with a speech, and I'll be reading that. So, I'm honored to be here today to talk about something that has the power to transform the future of our continent. Unlocking venture capital for emerging energy startups in Africa. This isn't just about energy, it's about what energy enables. It's about the people and businesses empowered by sustainable, reliable electricity, and about Africa's enormous potential for innovation, growth, and progress. Setting the landscape, let's start with a reality check. Currently, Africa is home to over 1 billion people, yet there are more than 600 million people who lack electricity. That is over half of the population who do not have access to reliable electricity. Imagine running a hospital with sporadic power, or a school without light, or a business that can only operate a few hours a day due to energy restrictions. While we struggle with these challenges, we are also presented with a tremendous opportunity. Africa's energy resources, particularly renewables like solar, wind, and hydro, are vast. We have the potential to leapfrog traditional energy development and drive a green energy revolution that will transform lives and economies. But this transformation requires something more, a catalyst that brings together innovation, technology, as well as investment. And this is where venture capital becomes a game. What then is the role of digital innovation in the energy sector? Digital innovation is already revolutionizing the way we generate, distribute, as well as consume energy. Think of the impact that technology has in telecom of Africa. Mobile money and fintech, for instance, have empowered millions across the continent. Now imagine the same kind of digital transformation applied to energy, creating smart grids, not the one where we have our national grid collapsing every 2 days. Using data analysis for energy management or implementing blockchain for transparency and accountability in energy distribution. There are several digital platforms that can help bring renewable energy to people in remote off-grid areas. They can make energy consumption more efficient, reduce waste, as well as bring down costs. But to scale these solutions, our energy startups need support, and that support comes from investors who sees Africa as not a place of risk, but as a place of enormous opportunity. Why does venture capital matters? Venture capital isn't just about money. It is about the network, the mentorship, the resources that help startups grow and succeed. For energy startups in Africa, VC can be the force that accelerates innovation, allowing entrepreneurs to test, validate, as well as scale their solutions. However, the venture ecosystem in Africa is still developing, and energy startups face unique challenges. The high upfront cost, complex regulatory environment, as well as long return timelines in the energy sector can be barriers for traditional investors. Yet, these challenges are also why venture capital is also essential. Venture capitalists can take on the risk that other investors can't, enabling startups to go from an idea on paper to a viable solution that impacts lives. How then do we unlock venture capital for emerging young founders like you in this room? I believe there are 3 key actions we need to take. The first one is creating the right policies and incentives. Governments play a crucial role in creating an environment where innovation can thrive. Policies that support renewable energy, ease regulatory burdens, and encourage local and foreign investments, which are very essential. Additionally, incentives like tax break or grants can attract more venture capital to the energy sector. The second has to be building partnerships. We must foster a collaboration between the government, private sector, as well as NGOs, as well as international organizations. When these stakeholders work together, they can share risk, pool resources, as well as create a more robust ecosystem. Energy challenges in Africa are complex, and no one entity can tackle them alone. Partnerships that leverage the strengths of each sector are very crucial. The last one and third bucket will have to be showcasing success stories. We've seen the likes of companies like Copper, Sun Culture, who have raised almost close to $1 billion in scaling their companies. We need to tell these stories. This startup serves as proof points that African energy innovation is not only possible, but profitable. They inspire confidence in investors and demonstrate that energy startups in Africa can drive both financial returns and social impacts. So before I move, I would like to go into, please can you go to the next slide? So yeah, today we're doing, there's an energy pitch thing, right? And I would like to ask, and I would like to also inform you what are the things that ventures or investors look out for when looking at startups. I think the first one has to be the market. So in the markets where you are in, how viable or how big is this market? So what is the problem that you're solving? So these are the solution that you're bringing to the market. What kind of problem does it? What kind of problem does it address? And is there a clear gap in energy access? The second one has to be scalability. Investors or VCs particularly always look for fast companies that can scale fast, so they can inject money in these kind of companies, so you don't have to bootstrap all the way through. The third one has to be impact metrics. Government across Africa are now very much open to incentivizing renewables and VC inflows, creating a fertile environment for outside VCs to come into the ecosystem. The fourth one has to be the team expertise. What's the dynamic between you and your co-founders? Like, do you guys really understand the kind of problem in which you are solving or the solution you are bringing into the market? The last is data-driven strategy. How do you use analytics to optimize operations and the impact this data has on your solution? So before I leave, I would like to make a call to action. To the entrepreneurs in the audience, your ideas and innovations are the engines of change. But remember, innovation without scale will never reach the people who need it most. Continue to push boundaries, work with the communities you serve, and design solutions that are not only impactful but scalable. To the investors, Africa's energy future is an opportunity you cannot afford to look. Yes, it may involve risk, but these are outweighed by the long-term rewards. Africa is on the brink of an energy revolution, and you have the chance to be a part of that journey. And to everyone here, I urge you to think about how you can contribute to building an ecosystem that supports the growth of energy innovation across Africa. Whether you're a policymaker, an entrepreneur, a venture capitalist, or simply someone passionate about this continent, each of us has a role to play. I would like to conclude. Scaling digital innovation in energy isn't just about profits or growth. It's about unlocking human potential. It's about the students who can study without interruption, the hospitals that can provide life-saving care, as well as the businesses that can thrive. Africa is rising. Let's power that rise together. Let's support the entrepreneurs who are solving our energy challenges. Let's invest in the future. And let's unlock the venture capital that can scale these life-changing innovations. Thank you very much.
Amazing. So when he say he's an accountant, he doesn't know anything about energy and the rest, I was smiling. But I think in every way, he knows. Because he consumes energy. For him to have done that personal speech within that short time, if you notice, it's not what was on the slide he was reading. It means that he knows his audience. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we've spent a lot of time talking and listening. We've heard all the keynotes. We've taken the notes, right? That's why it is called keynotes. We've taken these keynotes from the three sponsors. Now it is time to test our gumption, to train our brain cells, questions and answer. And this is where the incentives, the gifts come with every question you answer. So who do we start with? We're going to start with our keynote speaker. He will ask you 10 questions and at random, right? I have just been empowered that I can ask those questions myself. Flora, thank you. But again, are you ready? I've been given that permission. Before we come to the keynote speaker, I will ask one or two questions. Are we ready? Fastest finger. The keynote speaker talked about something, and he calls it the 5 Ps. Okay, your hand was up. You with the lace. Yes, you're the first person, hands up. Stand up. Don't open your notes. Don't open your notes. Yes? Yes.
Proper. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
I have it in my head.
Yeah. Okay. Proper preparation propels. No.
Now that they all know the answer, I'm going to change the questions. I'm not repeating questions. I am not repeating questions. Get ready for question 2. Still on the first speaker. There was a quote that stood out for me. Right? And the quote is in my head. And the quote is by somebody. The name of the person is in my head. So I'm going to give you clues of either 3 words from the quote and the name. You will tell me. The first clue is the name of the person. I will give you the second name, Dorotoye. The second clue is from the quote, lifetime. Her hands was up. The lady standing there. You. What's that? Yeah. Yes. You will help me with this, huh? Keynote is list. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Marietta, and I will just quote the quote by Mr. Fela Dorotoye, which says...
You got the name. Go ahead with the quote.
Which says that an opportunity of a lifetime must be attained within the lifetime of the opportunity.
Yes! She got it. Am I right? Yes! Honestly, I had that quote today. I know Fela Dorotoye. The prize. So come and get your prize, please. Right away, right? Now, should I ask another one or I should go back to... I should ask Flora. I should ask... Okay. Now, first from the first speaker. Before I go, the first speaker, since he's here, there's an equation. Whose hand was up? Okay. Stand up. There is one single equation in the 20, how many slides you have? 29 slides? Yeah, he had 29 slides. And in the entire 21 slides, there was one single equation that we had there. You will state the equation and what they stand for.
P plus D is equal to A.
Correct. You got the equation.
So
what does the P stands for?
Preparation.
The D?
Diligence equals to abundance.
Oh, she got it. Am I right? No. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Yeah, so. There's something about learning. I don't know. I know the reason why he put it up in red. That question was in red. I have a photographic memory. So that automatically just stick to my head. That's how me is. Now, one more from the first speaker again. Oh my goodness. What was the title of his presentation? Whose hand was up first? What was the title of his presentation?
Preparing for your success.
Ah!
It's not complete.
Preparing for success.
No.
And then entrepreneur's perspective.
No. I'm sorry. So who can tell me? Yeah? She got it right at the end. But the end. So what? Yeah, so what do you do? You did the presentation. We give it to her? Okay, good. So as an encouragement, we give it to you. Next question. Next question. Are you ready? He mentioned something about himself, personally. Something about the grade of degree he came out with, which never determined his success. Everyone knows. You are the back with a cap. These are things we don't talk about. What did you come out with? No, I'm a 2-1 candidate. Nobody wants to tell you he came with it.
He said he graduated with a 2-2.
What did he say?
He graduated with a 2-2.
Oh, that's correct. So, the point here is the class of your degree doesn't really matter. He has now created a company that is employing people with 2-1 and first class. Am I correct? He's an entrepreneur. To bring our knowledge to the fact of entrepreneurship, give it whatever you do in this life, if you cannot turn it into numbers, then forget it. That's one of the things I study in energy economics. Turning those statistics into numbers, making sense of those numbers, those knowledge that you read. Okay. All right, another question. What is the main brand color of, Bell Oil and Gas? Are you sure? You're the first person I saw his hands, but you don't seem sure. You said what? You're supposed to raise your hand and then we give you the mic. Give her the question. Give her the mic.
Blue.
You're right. I think she's right. The dominant color is blue. So we give it to her. Next question. Please watch out for the first person that raises up because I'll be looking into the phone. Which of this... There's something blocking here. How do I remove this? Yes, that's the one I'm reading. I should write this, huh? Which one? Haha, this is interesting. What is the slogan of the Bell Oil and Gas? Not too many hands up. Go to the person. What is the slogan of the Bell Oil and Gas? They have a catchphrase. Yes, go ahead. Don't quickly.
Yes, it is a local company with international standards.
One, I didn't hear what you said, and secondly, the little I heard, I don't think is correct.
No, it is a local company with international standards.
No, the slogan. There's a catchphrase. You know? Give it to him.
Oil and gas.
No. Who? Okay. At the back? Okay, so you go to the back. Who at the back? Whose side did you see?
To be a reference point for...
No. Give that person standing. He is so determined. He's so determined.
He says, believe you can and you will.
No. Give that person with cap. With a P cap. Quickly.
It says to be a reference point for local.
No, somebody has said that. No. Okay, there is this lady with hijab. Green. Okay, go. We were not listening to that presentation, right?
Empowering your energy future.
No. I like this word. Okay, come over here. He's saying, take it.
Believe in quality while you put safety first.
Be in quality while you put safety first.
It's the 5 P's preparation. 5 P's preparation.
A benchmark for professional services. Delivering.
Calm down.
Delivering technology driving productivity. Or delivering energy driving productivity, something like that.
No.
Energy for a better tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
That's NMPC. Are you kidding me?
Our vision. Our vision.
Say it again.
Our vision.
No.
Power for a cleaner world.
Maybe we should just pass this one.
The answer is your trusted partner in oil field solutions.
This one was a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's unique and agile.
I like this one. I'll play up on the phone. All right, next question. Are you ready? I have 2 more to go, right? How many have I asked now so far? Okay. Who is the CEO of Bell Oil and Gas? Who? You don't know? I didn't see the person who raised his hands up.
Dr. Kayo Dr. Mas.
Yes, correct. Come out and get your gift. Congratulations, you got a beautiful journal. Sorry? Okay. 2 more from my own side. None, that one was listed. Now from my head. My own is hot too. And you will determine if they say it right or not. Define enthalpy. He explained it. Enthalpy. There is entropy, then there is enthalpy. I want the opposite of it. I know what I'm asking now. I'm a science student too. Or should I roll out my credentials before you think I'm only a photographer?
Sir, he actually made mention of entropy, but you said entropy.
Thank you, sir.
I think entropy, it's more like the total measure of energy. In a system, in a particular system, the total measure of energy articulated within a particular system of a body.
There's a key word I'm looking for. Eh? Wait, did you say on? Or did you say
a different meaning. It's. Let's try somebody else. Right? Yes. They made the vocal square. Yeah. So that is that. Yes. So he said within the system. That's what he's saying. It's very close. It's very close, you know.
It's just that without that word,
it gives the word. You know, talk it.
Okay, let somebody else try. Sorry.
Yeah.
But again, you have given like 19% of So the word that you missed that instead of in is on. So, or if you have used the word exerted, then I'm fine. We're sticking with the entropy. So you've done 90% of it. So it's a pass mark. So come, so that before you see me in your dream and be having nightmare, go there and collect your gift. I have one more question, right? I have one more. Oh, two more questions. Okay, they were not introduced, right? Who can tell me the name of the two staff that came with him? The power of connection. You didn't take advantage of it. You have been passing here. Who can tell me their names? They are asking for expo. Nobody's hands is up. After, okay, let me give you a different one. Hey, they are going to yank this. They want to yank this thing off her neck. All right, that's not valid. We've cancelled that question. Okay, network with them. So the point here also is, I'm pushing you up into networking. Don't be shy of walking up to people like this. You don't know where you will meet them again, and you don't know where they will be of help again. The friend I made during NYC 2002 in Ebonyi State, Bankole, a total stranger. We just happened to be in the same platoon one with him. We became friends. And there is no way I will come to Lagos. Bankole will not go and look for me. It got to a point that even my family, anybody I refer to Bankole. So I came into this town, and by the grace of God, a provision was made. I came with no arrangement. A provision was made. And then Bankole went and yanked me off from there. I'm staying with him. But guess what? That provision became useful to some other people. Go to them and find out, hey, Tubosin is here. Oh. Good afternoon, ma. Okay, I'll come back to that. Question. What was the concluding statement in his presentation?
There's no elevator to Sussex, so start climbing the stairs.
Come over and get your gift. Looks like I still have one more. So I'm going to give it to anybody to ask the question.
Okay, so I want to ask, When was the company incorporated?
I'm 2002.
Wait, do you have the slides? Come on, collect your gift, bros. Sharp. Sharp. All right, that does it for me from my own end.